Hey guys, welcome to my desk that is getting worse and worse and worse. Anyway, in this box, you probably guessed from the title of the video, is my new B6 Traveller's Notebook. So let's get into it and you can have a look and see. Oh, cute paper, cute paper. Love that. So, oh, there's something extra in there. I'll have a look at that in a minute. So look at this paper that she used. That is so cute. I love it. So I asked Jenny from Stitch and Weave if she could make me a traveller's notebook. I sent her the fabric and this is what she made for me, and I'll talk you through the fabric in a minute. That is way too cute. I'm going to use that for Easter journaling. Look guys, look at that. It's amazing. So this fabric, if you didn't know, this fabric was from the Lollipop Box Club, and I can't remember which month it was. I think it was January or February. It was a cloud themed one, which is like totally and utterly right up my street, as you guys know. And yeah, so I asked Jenny if she would be able to make me a traveller's notebook from it, because I just loved the fabric, absolutely. And Jenny is, I've shown you a few of her traveller's notebooks now on my channel, because I keep going back, because the quality of her womanship, her work womanship is absolutely amazing. It's like, I think, in my opinion, and I've seen a few traveller's notebooks, they're one of the best fabric traveller's notebooks out there. So I'm really pleased. I literally just sent her the fabric and she has done everything else. So she's coordinated the elastic. She does leather traveller's notebooks as well, and also fabric traveller's notebooks. But if there's anything like you want, you just need to message her. She doesn't always have everything up in her Etsy shop. So, but I know she has a ton of fabric and she might have just what you're looking for. So I'd message her if you're after something. But yeah, and then on the inside, she's made me pockets. I've never had pockets before. So that is really exciting. Wow, that is beautiful. I've never had a traveller's notebook with pockets, like, from her. Like, they've always been like without pockets. So that is really exciting. So I love it. I absolutely love it. And yeah, it's gorgeous. And it looks like she sent me a little something to go with it. So, which is really sweet of her. It looks like she sent me a little, oh, she sent me a little charm with a little cloud on, which is so cute. That is going straight on there. Absolutely is going straight on there. And I am next up, I'm going to make my insert to go inside it. Right, so I'm not going to go like massively in depth in this video on how to make an insert for your traveller's notebook, because I did a full in-depth tutorial on my channel some time ago, and so I'll link that below so you can go and check out that video if you're interested in making your own. They are so easy to make, guys. So I do, you know, particularly if you're going to make like a journal rather than a planner. A planner's a little bit more tricky to make, but the binding process is really easy. But if you're going to make your journal, then I do recommend making your own, because they are really easy to make. So yeah, I'll check out that video. It doesn't matter what size, the basics are exactly the same, really. So I have made my own insert, purely because, and I will show you the insert, you know, so that you can actually see it, because obviously this is like a sped up version, but I thought I would show you the making of the insert for those of you who are curious. So I decided to make my own insert because, and one of the reasons that I'm moving to a B6 is because I didn't feel like my setup was working for me. Every now and then I find that I tend to find, like, I don't know, every maybe 6 months or so, I find that the setup that I've currently got isn't necessarily working. It's just the way it goes, I guess. Our lives are constantly evolving, and you know what we're doing changes all the time. And if you saw my last planner setup, I think it was for this year, so actually it's only been 3 months to be honest. Yeah, if you saw my setup this year, you will know that I was using a personal size, and I had one insert just for my personal life and home life, and then I had another insert for like work and business, and I had a week on 2 pages. One page was purely like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the other page was just like a dot grid. Now I find that because I'm quite sort of hit and miss when I work, I work around like little one, and so I don't really have things that I need to do on set days. My work basically usually consists of like to-do lists really. Occasionally there'll be something that I've got to do on a certain day, but not always. So I was finding it kind of a little bit unnecessary having the 2 inserts. I've always kind of split, well, not always. Sometimes I've had my work stuff together. Like I used to always be in an A5 ring binder, an A5 Filofax. And like over time it has just changed, as to what I want to use. Sometimes I have my work stuff in with my personal, and sometimes I don't. And I've just like personal life. So we just had a delivery driver. He's just not really hard. And the window's open. So sometimes I find that it works. Sometimes it doesn't work being together. And currently, it wasn't really working being separate. It was being a bit too much. So I decided to make my own inserts and put it all in the one. So, I will show you it like a proper. But I just wanted to kind of sort of just chat and tell you like why I have changed and all that, in case you were wondering. And one of the reasons I've changed to B6 is I keep looking at them and I keep liking the insert. I really like a more squarish kind of shape. I really, really like that. So yeah, that's kind of the main reason I changed. I think I haven't used it for journaling or anything yet, so it'll be interesting to kind of see how I feel about it in terms of a journal. I'm still kind of, well, you know me, I've always got loads of journals on the go, and I kind of flit around between the types of journal, like the types of paper, types of insert, and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of flip backwards and forwards with my journals. But I think I'll like it. I think I'll like a B6, but I'm currently sort of in several, personal size being one of them. So the thing to kind of note about this is usually when people who sell inserts for travelers notebooks, like on Etsy and stuff, they tend to do them in quarters, so like 3 months, and that's because they kind of look nicer and sit nicer all together. Now I personally like to have my whole year in one book if I can, because I like to see what's coming up a bit further, and I find it kind of, I know you can have more than one insert inside a traveller's notebook, but I kind of find it a bit confusing. So I like to have mine all together in the same insert. Now, this does mean that it makes for a really, really, really chunky insert. I mean, luckily we're only down to like 9 months left of the year. So that's not too bad, because I started this insert for April, so it's not too bad. But it does make for a really, really chunky insert, and you do end up with a bit of overhang. So I know that would really bug some people, but it doesn't really bug me. It bugs me more not to have all my whole year's worth together. That bugs me more than having a bit of an overhang. So yeah, you'll probably notice that in my final, but it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I like it a bit eclectic, and I'm using papers that I absolutely adore. This is the cloud paper that I'm using for this insert is it's from the Imagine That collection by Echo Park, which I've got in stock. I've got the whole collection in stock. I absolutely love it because it's full of clouds and unicorns and rainbows and mermaids, and it's just a really, really lovely collection. So I've been wanting to use that paper for ages, and so yeah, I decided to make my insert, and I'll get to enjoy that for the whole year. And I used some thread. I'm not actually sure where I got this from. It's kind of like, it's a cross between embroidery thread and twine, but it's gold and sparkly, and it's just, I love it. Also made an insert for my Patreon stuff and my videos, and I will show you that properly in a bit and explain it to you. Time to put my insert in. I can't wait. I can't wait. Like, the anticipation and excitement is just too much. So here we go, here we go, here we go. My big old chunk. It's in. It's in. It's in. So the next thing to do is to make a dashboard, and the reason I always like to make a dashboard is because I stick a pen loop on it so that I could keep a pen with me at all times. Eek, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. But it looks a bit empty with just the one insert in it, so I need to get cracking and make some more inserts. So I need to jump on the computer and make myself some inserts, and then I can make it all up. First though, I think I'm going to make myself a dashboard. Now I'm thinking of using this packaging because I really like it, and I've been holding on to it for a while. It's a sticker box, so I think I'm going to make this into my dashboard. I like recycling and reusing packaging, but I'm not sure if it's big enough. Yeah, so it'll just be big enough. It'll just about be big enough. But obviously it'll be a die cut, which will be super exciting. Like, it'll be cut. So that's what I'm gonna crack on with. So making a dashboard is really quick and easy. I haven't really done a full tutorial on my channel on making a dashboard for a traveller's notebook. I have made like a tutorial on making dashboards for ring planners before, but I will link that below, because although this isn't a ring planner, I do talk about some different things that you could use for dashboard, like some ideas of like what you could use. So I'll link that below in case you're interested. But yeah, making a traveller's notebook dashboard is fairly easy. So I just cut that card down to size. I don't end up with the whole picture, but that's okay. I end up with enough, and that is absolutely fine by me. And it is shaped, which I really like. It adds a little bit of more interest to like the finished dashboard, you know. So the back of that poppy was that, you know, cardboard, which I didn't really like. So I just grabbed a scrap piece of scrapbook paper. I keep, you've got loads of scraps. I grabbed something that I liked that would fit, and just adhered that that poppy to the back of that scrapbook card, stuck it down. I just used some double-sided tape runner. The good thing about using a tape runner rather than a glue stick is that you don't have to worry about like any lumps. You know, sometimes you get sort of lumps from a glue stick, you know. So yeah, just smush that down and just cut around the card again, just to kind of finish it off. And so this will be the front of my dashboard. I have a back as well. I used papers from my own collection, the April Showers collection, the one I drew and designed myself. I chose one of my favourite papers, which is the cloud wearing the gold sparkly crown. I love that paper, if I do say so myself. That is what I used for the back side of the dashboard. Now the card that I use is A4. You could just cut out a B6 square from that paper if you wanted to, but some scrapbook paper isn't double-sided, or you don't necessarily like the reverse side, and I wanted the cloud on both sizes, so I just folded the paper in half so that I would basically you know, I cut it out the full size of the B6 when it was open, and then just folded the card over, tacked it down with a bit more of that tape runner. So then I've got myself a nice double-sided back to my dashboard. Now, I don't show you the laminations part on camera because my laminator is somewhere else and it's kind of like takes ages to heat up and all that kind of thing. But basically I put the two pieces inside my laminator with a gap in between, a few centimeters, like about 1 centimeter gap in between the two sides, so that it will wrap around my dashboard nicely. Finished dashboard. Really happy with it. Really happy with it. I like it. And these are my pen loops, so I'm going to put the black one on because I'm saving the pink one for something else which you'll probably see soon. Okay, so that's kind of like the making of kind of part of the video, showing you my new B6 and the making up. I will do a proper like setup video and show you the inserts properly, because this video is already like 1/4 hour long. So I'll do a separate video of a flip through, just kind of showing the setup.